Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, MVP of the Stars. So today's story time book is gonna be one of my favorite. If you haven't seen my last video, go check it out. Mr. Pricklyface has it for us. Mr. Pricklyface? Mr. Pricklyface has the book for us. Oh, let's get it. My favorite book of all time, Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum was my favorite book because it was about bullying, and it was such a great influence to me. I love this book. Chrysanthemum by Kevin Henkes. Wait, that's not right. The day she was born was the happiest day in her parents' life. She's perfect, said her mother. Absolutely, said her father. And she was. She was absolutely perfect. Perfect, sorry. My voice cracked. Her name must be everything she is, said her mother. Her name must be absolutely perfect, said her father. And it was. Chrysanthemum. Her parents named her Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum grew and grew and grew, and when Tree was old enough to appreciate it, Chrysanthemum loved her name. I just love that. She loved the way it sounded when her mother woke her up. She loved the way it sounded when her father called her for dinner. And she loved the way it sounded when she whispered it to herself in the bathroom mirror. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum loved the way her name looked when it was written in ink on an envelope. She loved the way it looked when it was written with icing on her birthday cake. And she loved the way it looked when she wrote it herself with her fat orange crayon. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum thought her name was absolutely perfect. And then she started school. Yeesh, we all know how that can be. On the first day, Chrysanthemum wore her sunniest dress and her brightest smile. She ran all the way. Hooray, said Chrysanthemum, school! But when Miss Chud took roll call, everyone giggled upon hearing Chrysanthemum's name. Mrs. Chud. Don, Eve, Luce, Al, Les, Kate, Max, Sue, Bill, Pat, Tom, Sam, Ken, Joe, Rita, Victoria, the Meanies, Chrysanthemum. Oh, that's sad. It's not nice to say that, right? You don't want to make fun of it. It's so long, said Joe. It scarcely fits on your name tag, said Rita, pointing. I'm named after my grandmother, said Victoria. You're named after a flower. Chrysanthemum wilted like... She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and informed Miss Chubb that Chrysanthemum's name was spelled with 13 letters. That's exactly as many letters as are in the entire alphabet, Victoria explained. Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria, said Miss Chubb. Now put your head down. So I think she did that and just that. If I had a name like yours, I'd change it, Victoria said, as the students lined up to go home. I wish I could, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. My name is too long. It scarcely fits on my name tag, and I'm named after a flower. Oh, pish, said her mother. Your name is beautiful and precious and priceless and fascinating and winsome, said her father. It's everything you are, said her mother. Absolutely perfect, said her father. Chrysanthemum felt much better after her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese with ketchup, and an evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. So parcheesi is like a game. It's like I don't know. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that her name was Jane. It was an extremely pleasant dream. Just ignore that. The next morning, Chrysanthemum wore her most comfortable jumper. She walked to school as slowly as she could. She dragged her feet in the dirt. Chrysanthemum, 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 she wrote. She even looks like a flower, said Victoria as Chrysanthemum entered the playground. Let's pick on her, said Rita, pointing. Let's smell her, said Joe. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and said, A chrysanthemum is a flower. It lives in a garden with worms and other dirty things. Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria, said Miss Chad. Now put your head down. I just cannot believe your name, Victoria said as students lined up to go home. Neither can I, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. They said I even look like a flower. They pretended to pick me and smell me. Oh, pish, said her mother. They're just jealous and envious of begrudging and disconnected and jaundiced, said her father. Who wouldn't be jealous of a name like yours, said her mother. After all, it's absolutely perfect, said her father. Chrysanthemum felt a trifle better after her favorite dessert, chocolate cake with buttercream frosting, and another evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. Still don't know what that is. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that she really was a chrysanthemum. She sprouted leaves and petals. Victoria picked her and plucked the leaves and petals one by one until there was nothing left but a scrawny stem. It was the worst nightmare of Chrysanthemum's life. Chrysanthemum wore her outfit with 7 pockets the next morning. She loaded the pockets with her most prized possessions and good luck charms. Chrysanthemum took the longest route possible to school. She stopped and stared at each flower. Chrysanthemum, 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 the flowers seemed to say. That morning, students were introduced to Mrs. Twinkle, the music teacher. Her voice was like something out of a dream, as was everything else about her. The students were speechless. They thought Mrs. Twinkle was an indescribable wonder. They went out of their way to make a nice impression. Mrs. Twinkle led their students in scales. Then she assigned them roles for the class musical. Victoria was chosen as the dainty fairy queen. Rita was chosen as a spiffy butterfly princess. Joe was chosen as an all-important pixie messenger, and Chrysanthemum was chosen as a daisy. Oops. Chrysanthemum's a daisy, chrysanthemum's a daisy. Joe and Rita Joe, Rita, and Victoria chanted, thinking it was wildly funny. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. "What's so humorous?" asked Mrs. Twinkle. "Chrysanthemum," was the answer. "Her name is so long," said Joe. "It scarcely fits on her name tag," said Rita, pointing. "I'm named after my grandmother," said Victoria. "She's named after a flower." That's not nice at all. I don't like that. "My name is Long," said Mrs. Twinkle. "It is?" said Joe. "My name would scarcely fit on a name tag," said Mrs. Twinkle. "It would?" said Rita, pointing. And Miss Twinkle, said Mrs. Twinkle, "I'm named after a flower too." "You are?" said Victoria. "Yes," said Mrs. Twinkle. "My name is Delphinium Twinkle, and if my baby is a girl, I'm considering Chrysanthemum as a name. I think it's absolutely perfect." Chrysanthemum could scarcely believe her ears. She blushed, she beamed, she bloomed. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Joe, Rita, and Victoria looked at Chrysanthemum longingly. "Call me Marigold," said Joe. "I'm Carnation," said Rita, pointing. "My name is Lily of the Valley," said Victoria. Chrysanthemum did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She knew it was absolutely perfect. The lunch. Overall, the class musical was a huge success. Chrysanthemum was absolutely perfect as a daisy. Victoria made the only mistake. She completely forgot her lines as the dainty fairy queen. Chrysanthemum thought it was wildly funny, and she giggled throughout the entire dance of the flowers. Eventually, Mrs. Twinkle gave birth to a healthy baby girl, and of course, she named it Chrysanthemum. We have one more thing left to do. What happened? What happened? Storytellers? Of course, the Who's Who Disney book. Say stop. Stop. Let's get to know the snow geese. These happy, energetic snowmen are the results of Elsa's first cold. Every time she sneezed, more of them would pop into the air. Snow geese love birthday cake. They will do anything to get a piece. Olaf loves them and calls them his little marshmallow brothers. The Snowsies live in Elsa's ice palace with Marshmallow. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and make sure to subscribe to my channel and put on the notification bells. Just overall, have a good night. Bye!